So I'm not gonna stay out there. I'm gonna put a light.
Alrighty. Option for this, you can have your mask off if you'd like.
Oh, okay. I can take it all the way up. I ain't want. Alright.
Alright. Can you look at the camera and say, hello, my name is, and today we're going to be, what we're going to be working on?
Okay. How you doing? My name is Terrence Colbreath, and today we're going to be working on 2 3-way switches and 1 light.
Alright, cool. Keep that camera stationary, and here I'll kind of like follow along with what you're doing. So, what's the step-by-step process?
So, first step is to attach your grounds to the conduit here. You got to make sure everything's grounded out to make sure we're safe with the circuit. So we're gonna cut the wire in half, just like that. Take your 2 pieces, strip each end, depending on the gauges.
Do you think it holds like screws together? This one. Oh, that. Oh, you working on our first stuff. Yeah. And I think you're working on.
And you're gonna strip both of them.
Number 1. Yeah, I think that's that.
Not that much, just enough. Alright. And that's that, right? Yeah. And that's that. So now, the next step is to take your ground you just stripped. It's stranded, so tighten up the strands. Come on, bro. Alright, now after you do that, you just take your ground, and this is a green screw inside the conduit. Which one is it? It's that. So you're gonna take your ground, put a hook in it, get your screwdriver, put it right on the screw. There you go. Come on, what's your name again? I don't know. Then it does that. You just screw it in. Just like that. And let it sit there. Alright, let it sit there. So now, once we're done with that, you grab your switch. Your first switch, your first 3-way. And attach your ground. This guy. That's slamming. This one is gonna keep falling off. So we tighten that up. Put that back where it was at. This one just keep falling off.
So yeah, if you go home today and bring the toolbox, look for this one. Always have one. You don't know.
Come on. Oh my spirit. Shoe locker. Sweating already. Once you get that situated, we start running stuff. Come on with this man. Boom. What the? Finally. Alright, so once you get your ground attached, you can start running your other wires. So the first wire we're going to run is our neutral wire, the white wire. So this wire only goes to lights and receptacles. We're going to start up top at our junction box, put a little hook in it so it doesn't get caught when you're running it, and literally just run it through till you get to the other side. Once you get to the other side, just leave it there. So now, so we only got one light, so we only need one neutral, right? So the next thing we're gonna run is called your feed in, your hot, all right? So your first initial run. So from that same spot where power source is, we're gonna take a red wire and run it down to where we put our first switch at. Bingo, all right? So once you get to that level, you wanna take it about 6 to 8 inches from your fingertip out to your wrist. Leave it just like that. Same thing for the top. Go in a box from your fingertip out to about your wrist, and we're gonna cut the wire. You should be good with that. Now, for our next switch, we're gonna put it over here in this box. So what we're gonna do is take a piece of black wire now. Is that one? This one is the one. All right, take a piece of black wire. Yeah. So while we're gonna run it, starting from our switch box, we're gonna run our black wire up and around to the next box. All right, so once we get it there, pull your excess through. Man. So the same thing we do on this side, we're gonna do on this side. We're gonna take it out to about 6 to 8 inches and then cut it and let it hang. So that's that setup. Then we're gonna run another one, same thing from this box over to that box. Is this one wrong? That's the question. Is it? If it's not long enough, let me go on. It might not be. That ain't long enough. Alright, so alright, well that's not long enough. What we're gonna do is run that to there. I don't think this long enough either. That's not long enough. Alright, we're gonna keep doing.
Yes, we're gonna be supposed to be a video.
All right, so like that. Sorry it took so long. So just like that, all right? So now, we got our wire coming from our feed, and we got 2 wires for what we call our travelers, which is our bottom 2 screws. And we just need 1 more wire. So the last wire is for our light. It's called a switch leg. So we're just gonna take 1 piece of wire from where we ran our second box. And we're gonna run it straight up to the light. Just like that. All right. Make sure you cut everything about 6 to 8 inches. That way you don't have too much going on in your box. All right. So now, for the 3 weeks. So the same thing we did on this side, we have to do on this side for the ground. So we're gonna take another piece of ground wire, your green wire. Cut it to a reasonable amount of size, strip it. Once you strip it, same thing applies. Put it right to the green screw that's in the box.
Oh, you already seen it. Buy it.
Come on. Just like that. And the same thing, just take your wire and you're gonna put it right on the green screw. So yeah, all right. So now, we got both our switches grounded, and that's the most important step. Make sure you ground everything first. So now, it's time to start doing what we call landing switches. So when we land our switches, we basically gonna start with our first switch first, the one we set up first. So we know that our red wire is our feed in, which is coming from our power source. So we're gonna take our red wire and strip it. Yeah, it's 14. All right. Once we strip it, make sure we tighten up the strands so that it don't come loose on us. Once you do that, take your hook, put your hook in it. Alright, so now that we got our hook set, all we gotta do is take our hook and put it right to the screw. All your switches will let you know what screw the wire goes on. Once you put that on the screw, just tighten it up. And you're done with that. Alright. So now, the next thing we gotta do is the most important part. hook up our travelers. Reason why we need travelers, because we got 2 3-ways. We got to send the power to the next switch. So to send the power to the next switch, we're going to take the 2 black wires. The first one we ran, we're going to strip it. Take the second one, do the same thing. Alright, so the same rules apply. You want to tighten up the strings. And then we're going to put our hook in both of the wires.
Yeah, it's better to think about.
Boom. Just like that. Alright, so now that we got both our wires with the hooks in them, you just take one of your wires, put it to one side. Then you take your last wire, put it to the other side. And you're done with your first switch. So now that we're done with our first switch, we'll have to move over to our second switch. Alright, so you can see your second switch. Same thing applies.